this didn't feel like a victory. Stranger Things, Season 5. Volume 2 doesn't explode. It presses down slowly and deliberately. Instead of non-stop chaos, it delivers answers that make everything heavier, more personal, and harder to escape. These aren't the kind of reveals that fade after the credits roll. They change how past seasons feel and force you to rethink what the story has really been building toward this entire time. Because the real danger here isn't Vecna winning outright, it's the cost of stopping him. A cost that isn't loud, heroic, or celebrated. It's quiet, unsettling, and deeply personal. By the final moments of Volume 2, the show stops pretending this is just another battle that can be won and walked away from. Someone already understands what's coming. Someone has already accepted it. And that realization hangs over everything as the story moves toward its final chapter. From the very first moments of Volume 2, it's clear the show is moving differently. The pacing slows, not because the story is stalling, but because it's tightening. Every scene feels intentional, almost restrained, like the show is holding something back instead of throwing everything at the screen at once. There are fewer monster fights and fewer shock moments, but far more uncomfortable conversations. Characters finally say things they've been avoiding for years. Secrets that once felt like background noise suddenly take center stage, forcing everyone to confront what this fight has really done to them. That shift is exactly why some viewers felt unsettled. After waiting so long for the final season, many expected Volume 2 to go full throttle. Instead, the show strips everything down, removing distractions and spectacle, so there's nowhere left to hide emotionally. And that's the point. Volume 2 isn't about winning yet. It's about understanding the rules, the consequences, and the limits before the final move is made. What comes next only works because of this quiet pressure building underneath every scene. By the end of Episode 7, the group actually pulls off something that should feel impossible. They make it through the Max Z gate together. No one is left behind. Everyone survives. On paper, it's a clean win, the kind the story almost never allows this late in the game, but the moment refuses to celebrate itself. The music never lifts. The pacing slows instead of accelerating. There's no sense of triumph, no release of tension. The camera lingers just long enough for relief to turn into something uneasy and uncomfortable. 11 becomes the clearest signal that this isn't really a victory. She doesn't look relieved or proud. She looks distant, shaken, almost detached from the group around her. It feels like she's already somewhere else mentally, processing a truth the others haven't fully grasped yet. That's when it becomes clear this escape wasn't the end of the danger. It was a warning disguised as success. The group made it out together, but the price for doing so hasn't been paid yet. It's only been pushed further down the line, waiting. That buried cost comes into focus during 11's conversation with Kay. What begins as explanation slowly turns into something far more disturbing. Kay doesn't talk about hope, or clever solutions, or second chances. She talks about inevitability. Stopping Vecna isn't just about defeating him in a fight. The Upside Down can't fully collapse if the bridge stays open. And that bridge can't close if someone doesn't remain behind when everything falls apart. The logic is simple, cold, and final. What makes the scene so unsettling isn't the plan itself. It's 11's reaction to it. She doesn't argue. She doesn't search for alternatives. She doesn't try to convince Kay there has to be another way. She listens, understands, and quietly accepts what's being implied. That silent agreement becomes the real cliffhanger of Volume 2. Not a monster reveal, not a last-second escape, just the realization that 11 may already be preparing to disappear so everyone else can survive. And once that idea settles in, every moment after it carries a weight that never fully lifts. Kay's explanation doesn't stop at sacrifice. It digs deeper into a truth the story has been circling for years. Dr. Brenner's work never truly ended. The names changed. The facilities changed. But the experiments continued quietly in the background. Kay reveals that the military has been trying to recreate 11 by using her blood. Pregnant women are infused, monitored, pushed past human limits. And every single attempt fails. The women don't survive. The children never become what they're meant to be. The process breaks down every time. That's when Kay delivers the line that reframes everything. Only one of us was ever truly like him. 11 wasn't just another experiment. She was the exception, the only success, the only one capable of creating someone like Henry Creel. This means something terrifying. Even if Vecna is stopped, even if the Upside Down collapses, the government will never stop coming for 11. Brenner can be replaced, the system can reset, but as long as she exists, the cycle never really ends. That realization leads Kay to her final conclusion. There is no version of the future where 11 gets to live freely. Not in Hawkins, not anywhere. She will always be hunted, studied, and used as long as she remains in the world. Kay doesn't present this as cruelty. She presents it as clarity. The fight doesn't end with Vecna's death. It only changes shape. Another lab, another doctor, another attempt to control what 11 represents. So Kay's solution is absolute. When the Upside Down collapses, someone has to go with it. Someone has to make sure the bridge never opens again. That someone is her. And it's 11. What makes this moment devastating isn't the logic. It's the lack of resistance. 11 doesn't reject it. She doesn't plead for another answer. She understands exactly what Kay is saying and what it means. This isn't framed as heroism, it's framed as inevitability. And by the time the conversation ends, it's clear that 11 isn't just fighting Vecna anymore. She's fighting the idea that her existence itself might be the final threat that needs to disappear. Volume 2 finally pulls the curtain back on Vecna's real objective, and it's far more unsettling than simple destruction. Henry was never trying to erase Hawkins or reduce it to rubble. What he wants is transformation, a complete rewriting of reality itself. He explains that his true goal is to merge Hawkins with a deeper realm known as the Abyss. He doesn't describe this as an invasion or a takeover. He frames it as evolution. In his mind, the human world is broken, fragile, and ruled by fear. The Abyss, he claims, is a place of clarity, balance, and light. To make that merge possible, Henry needs vessels, children. Not because they are powerless, but because they are easier to shape. Their minds are more open, more malleable, and their dormant abilities can be awakened if they work together. He believes their combined energy is the key. The way he speaks is calm and convincing, almost comforting. He presents the plan as salvation, as a way to cleanse darkness rather than spread it. But beneath the soft language, something feels wrong. The promise of light starts to sound like control wrapped in purpose. The reality of that control becomes undeniable during the ritual's final moments. The children sit around a candlelit table inside the Creel house, placed with disturbing precision, as if every movement has been planned in advance. Henry stands at the head, composed and confident, like someone overseeing a process he's perfected. When he says, "It's time," everything changes instantly. The atmosphere shifts. The children's bodies react in perfect unison. Their necks snap back. Their eyes roll white. Whatever they were promised no longer matters. The screen cuts to black before the outcome is shown, but the message is unmistakable. This isn't symbolic. It isn't a test. The ritual has begun, and it's already out of control. That moment reframes every word Henry spoke before. The Abyss isn't a refuge or a second chance. It's a machine. And these children aren't being saved. They're being consumed to make his vision real. One of the most important revelations of the entire series lands quietly through Dustin's discovery. Inside Hawkins' lab, he uncovers Dr. Brenner's journals, and what they reveal completely rewrites everything the group thought they understood. For years, everyone believed the Upside Down was another dimension, a dark mirror of their world. Dustin explains that assumption was wrong. It was never a destination. It was a passage, a wormhole connecting 2 points in time and space. On the other side of that bridge isn't the Upside Down at all. It's the Abyss, a chaotic realm where the Mind Flayer and the monsters truly originate. The Upside Down only exists because the bridge was forced open, and that's where the truth becomes unbearable. 11 created that bridge. Not intentionally, not by choice. Brenner forced her to search for Henry again using the tank. That moment of contact reopened the path and gave Vecna a way back. Ever since then, everything has been bleeding through. The final pieces fall into place with the reveal of exotic matter and the plan to destroy it. The massive red sphere above Hawkins' lab isn't powered by dark magic. It's a single source of energy holding the wormhole together. When it's damaged, the lab begins to melt, turning into gray sludge, but the collapse stops short. The bridge destabilizes, but it doesn't close. That means Vecna can still reach through, and the Abyss remains connected. That's why Steve proposes the final plan, Operation Beanstalk. Let Vecna pull the worlds closer together. Use that moment to strike directly inside his mind, then plant the device near the exotic matter and collapse the bridge completely. But the plan only works if everyone escapes in time. And that's where the quiet dread returns. because someone may not be meant to leave. By the time Volume 2 ends, it's clear the final battle isn't just about stopping Vecna. It's about whether the bridge can be sealed without losing the one person who created it. As Volume 2 comes to a close, the story stops explaining and starts warning. The pieces are finally on the board, the rules are clear, and the cost has been laid out without mercy. This was never about one last fight or a clean win. It was about what has to be given up to make the end permanent. Everything now points toward 11. Not as a weapon, but as the final lock on a door that should never have been opened. The season strongly suggests she's already accepted that role, even if no one else has said it out loud yet. But Stranger Things has never been about one person carrying the burden alone. Will, Max, and the others remain deeply tied to Vecna and the bridge itself. Their connections hint that the ending may not be simple, or painless, or fair. Whatever happens next, the finale isn't being set up as a victory lap, it's being built as a reckoning. Because even if Vecna is stopped and the worlds are sealed apart, not everyone will walk away unchanged. And that's the truth Volume 2 leaves us with as everything goes dark.